Most American highway horror follows a set of familiar rules. We watch for hitchhikers who vanish from the passenger seat, figures standing on the dark shoulder, or the threat of an isolated serial killer. But there is a concept that bypasses the fear of death entirely. It is a road that doesn't take your life, but instead ensures that life never happened. Deep in the Nevada desert, a legend persists among long haulers about Exit 88. It is a highway that officially does not exist on any state map, survey, or government database. In August of 2025, Mason Reed was making his usual run. He was a 15-year veteran trucker, driving the predictable, high-traffic route from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. After passing Exit 87, a new sign appeared in his headlights: Exit 88. Assuming it was a newly opened bypass he'd simply missed on his last run, Mason turned onto the ramp. Mason was driving off the edge of recorded reality, entering a vacuum where the very memory of a human being begins to unspool. The ramp led to a pristine, miles-long stretch of empty road. The asphalt was completely fresh and perfectly smooth. Bright, uniform streetlights illuminated a landscape completely devoid of billboards, gas stations, or any other signs of human infrastructure. Isolation set in the moment Mason checked his mirrors. Every road sign he had just passed had vanished into the darkness. There was no longer a path back to the interstate. This diagram illustrates the severe time dilation Mason encountered driving through a short tunnel. He entered in the afternoon and exited into pitch-black nightfall. His dashboard clock showed 6 minutes had passed, but his cell phone registered a jump of 3 entire days. Mason's CB radio suddenly crackled to life with dozens of frantic, overlapping voices. They were all repeating the same terrifying warning: don't stop driving. A cold, mechanical voice then cut through the static, addressing him directly. It said, "Vehicle 241, prepare for deletion." The clinical tone of that command suggests the highway is more than just a geographic anomaly. It behaves like an automated system, identifying a person as an error and beginning the process of removing them from the record. Mason eventually made it back to his house, but while the building was unchanged, the life inside it was gone. The family living there claimed to have owned the property for 12 years and had no idea who Mason Reed was. At the police station, the erasure became total. No record of a driver's license, no social security number, and no bank accounts. Even his physical identity had been purged. His fingerprints yielded no matches in any national database, as if his biological presence was wiped away. Mason was left with a single artifact, a slightly faded Polaroid kept in his wallet. It showed him, his wife, and his young daughter standing together in their backyard. The deletion continued through his history in stages. On the first morning, Mason found his daughter was no longer in the image. By the next day, his wife had also vanished. On the third morning, the Polaroid showed nothing but an empty backyard, as if the family had never existed. This protocol works retroactively. It reaches back through time to systematically sever every connection a person has to the world, unspooling their life until the universe has no memory of them. Months after Mason disappeared, highway workers repairing Interstate 15 found a damaged dash cam half buried in the Nevada desert sand. The final video file on the memory card showed Mason sitting in his dark cab, crying. He looked directly into the lens and issued one final warning: never take Exit 88. Mason then looked into his rearview mirror. His expression shifted from fear to a quiet, hollow acceptance as he asked, "If I don't exist anymore, then who's driving my truck?" The camera panned slowly toward the driver's seat. It was entirely empty, yet the massive truck continued to safely accelerate down the empty highway, steered perfectly by a completely invisible force. To this day, the Nevada desert occasionally yields these ghosts. Trucks are found perfectly intact, engines still idling, keys in the ignition, and doors tightly closed, but the drivers are never seen again. Exit 88 remains a cosmic void, a reminder of how fragile our place in recorded history truly is. It proves that our entire existence can be silently deleted just by taking the wrong turn.